Chris, filed 2, Oxford City 1. The bottom line is 3 points and another step closer to our goal of survival.
Well, yeah, to survive, as you've suggested, we need to win games. So obviously winning today is really, really good for the football club. I'm really pleased for the players that have put the efforts in. You know, it's meant to be spring, isn't it? But it felt like November. Very cold, windy, raining, horrific rain, wasn't it? Second half. And of course the pitch is playing like it is midwinter, so it's very difficult. And I'm really pleased the lads stuck to task. 2 great goals, really good goal, the first one. We are a team that scores very good goals. Nick did what he does for the second goal, a great free kick. Doesn't always get that right, but often does. And when he does, you know, it's no disrespect to their goalkeeper, it's a great strike. So very worthy of winning any game, then 2 goals. Very pleased for Joe and very pleased for Nick and the lads.
Well, the first half was very gritty. It was sort of disjointed to an element, and for only 4 minutes to be added on as well was quite frustrating from our perspective, because I think, putting it nicely, their game managed very well in that first half when they went 1-0 up. And then on the flip side, I don't know about you, Chris, but I don't know where those 6 minutes came from in the second half, where we sort of controlled added time and managed that really well.
Well, yeah, you've probably said what I want to say. Yeah, it happens in football, and you try and have some rapport and conversation. I swore twice today in the whole 90 odd minutes. 90, what would it be? 100 minutes with 4 and 6 added to the fourth official. And as soon as you do, it's classed as disrespectful, not at him, just at an incident in the game. And it's very difficult to manage your frustrations, especially with, you know, the conditions and where we're at and what's happening. But it's what happens. I don't know why they added so much time on second half and didn't add as much time on at the end of the first half, but it's what they've done.
In terms of today, it's another 3 points closer to survival, and it does relegate Oxford City from the division. A side who came into the game today with probably, they're in a very difficult position. They've not won many games of late, but they put up a fighting spirit, and, you know, in all fairness to them, it was great to see them coming off with their heads held high, and all due respect.
I didn't realise today that had happened. Obviously, my interest is to try and look after ourselves. I went to watch them last Sunday play against Halifax. Thought they were very good. The manager's made a few changes from that team that I thought played very good last Sunday. They were unlucky. To be fair, for me last Sunday it was goalkeeping errors really. And coming into this game, they've obviously got Tom Watson back from Wigan on loan. And I knew he'd be at his best and help them. They made a few changes to the actual starting lineup, but of course, I met Justin last week, who I've known from Celtic Manor in the summer at the awards, and I spent some time with him, and he was just discussing, if anybody read my programme notes, how difficult it is to compete at National League level now, because it's not thousands of pounds, it's millions. Even to try and stay in the league, never mind get out of it and get in the Football League. So, I didn't realise that had happened today. So, yeah, my best wishes go to that football club. Of course they do.
In terms of ourselves, you mentioned it there in your first answer, Chris. 2 goals worthy of winning every game, but 2 very different goals as well. The first one being really well worked over to Joe on the far side, and the second just a moment of brilliance from Haughton, as we see so often.
Yeah, Dan Omrod did well. First contact, drops down into the 4 zone, or position 4 zone, or attacking 10 zone. Nick got on it great. He looked up. I thought he was going to pull the trigger. I'm glad he didn't. Made a better choice and decision. Joe Westley's movement opens his body to receive a pass underneath him, which is a great movement. People don't see the intricacy in that. And once the ball's at his feet, we've not had him in that position as often as I would have liked since he's been here. But yeah, he comes back inside on his left foot, one touch, and he picks his spot. And he's done it, I don't know, every time I've watched them Burnley under-21s, he does it in games. He's found his feet in men's football, and I'm really pleased. I think that's his 3rd goal, and he's set a couple up as well. So maybe in a good dozen games, his goal contributions will be 50% of games he's played.
An hour gone, the ball hits the back of the net for the equaliser. In your opinion, does the tide change there into it was our game to lose at that point?
Well, it's probably our game to lose at the start of the game. You know, there's no real pressure on Oxford. And again, speaking to Justin last week, he's a businessman and somebody who wants his club, represents his club really well. And you can't ignore the elephant in the room. It's likely that they will get relegated, but he hadn't accepted it at that point. But yeah, it's probably what you just said before from the start of the game. It's ours to try and lose. You know, we obviously want to win, but ours to lose really. And really well happy with the lads how they handle the pressure, because it's hard when the pitch isn't slick and you can get in stride. And they score off their only shot of the game on target. Well, the only shot of the game, and it goes in the goal. You know, didn't have another shot. So it's so frustrating that point to be behind off not being under that much pressure. But at half time, I just told the players, like, a little bit of tetchiness in them. You know, go relax. You know, I won't use the words that I used at half time on the interview, but you know, stick that chest out is a different way of putting it, and you know, go and express yourself, because you've got nothing to lose at this point, because we're now trailing 1-0.
In terms of Nick's goal, almost 2.5 centuries of appearances for this football club, edging towards 100 goals. He won't score many more important than that or better than that. It's just a typical Nick Orton goal, isn't it? He pops up and scores a beauty just when we need him the most.
Nick's done great. He's responded well to me. He runs harder and more now, and there's no more evidence in today's game when I don't know how we end up in that position. I can't wait to look at that back. But we're attacking, play a square ball, and our last man's Nick Haughton. But what he did do, he did the 50 yards, he did the sliding tackle, and for me that's more important than his actual goal, because they're winning traits. And if we can get Nick representing that, everybody's got to follow that, because it's something in the past that's been thrown at him as a negative to his football from different people. But he's done it really well for us, for me and for himself, and for him to get his 17th goal, I think, yeah. So he's done great, because last time in the National League he couldn't hit them numbers. And I'm really pleased he's doing well, but it's a team effort, and Nick will definitely share them plaudits, because they should be shared. But from my perspective, you know, them winning traits and getting back in, that's brill. And he's got a little bit, I need to catch his old strike partner up, hasn't he, in Danny Rose. So keep on going, Nick.
Another 3 points up to 13th now in the division, Chris, which is a much more respectable position than when you took over the football club. And the most important thing, edging away from 21st, with most of our supporters now sort of saying 3 more points and we're safe of a position at Christmas that looked pretty impossible. So just wrap up the interview, Chris, by talking about your feelings of how you are right now, the mood in the camp, and that sort of relief that the likelihood is we're going to be playing National League football once again next term.
Well, I haven't got any at this point, because you can see the top of the mountain, but we've not put the flag in the ground yet at the top. So until that actually happens, we've done brilliant to have very little chance, because it was, you know, we're conceding, I'd have to have a look, 2.5 goals a game. We'd won 2 in 15. We had 9 points after 15 games. So in theory, if you triple that, would be 27 points, season finished. So we've done brilliant from that point. We've had to get in playoff type form and numbers, goals scored, reduced goals conceded, play faster. So we've done really well, but at the moment we've not done anything other than really well till this point. So we've got to make sure we keep forging forwards, because until that flag goes in the ground, nothing really matters.